All right, good morning. Happy Monday to everybody. I know most people love Monday more than every day of the week. So I just want to get into this today and talk through a few things. And basically, what I want to look at is Romans chapter 6, starting in verse 13. It says this: it says, "Do not present your members as instruments of unrighteousness to sin, but present yourselves to God as being alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness to God." I hope I read that right. So do not present yourself as instruments of unrighteousness. That means don't offer your body to serve unrighteousness. But it says your members as instruments of righteousness. Okay? That you offer them, present yourselves to God. Okay, I'm going to tell you this, and I hope that this helps you. I think this is an important thing that we need to do regularly as believers. And when I mean regularly, I mean daily, even more often than that, is we need to consciously offer ourselves to God and just say, God, here I am, here's me, right? And when it says, present your members, it's literally talking about your body, your physical being. Present yourself to the Lord, saying, Lord, here I am. Here's Dale. Use me to your glory. I'll tell you one thing that I prayed when I was a young believer regularly is I asked God to actually use my brain as a tool for his kingdom. It's something that he would use my brain. That was one of the things that I really felt a conviction to give to God was just my brain, that I would start thinking about God, that I would start meditating on him and all that stuff. But listen, okay, when you wake up in the morning, I think this is one of the things that you should consciously do every day, and maybe even more than that. Okay, and this is the reason why I say even more than that. It's because when you wake up and you offer yourself to God and you come and you say, okay, Lord, here I am, use me, take me through my day. May my life glorify you. That's great. And then you go to work, and then on your way home from work, you might be in a completely different place. And you know what I'm talking about, right? After a long day of work, what are you thinking about? Like, I just want to go home. I just want to veg out. Let me go. I don't want to do anything. Don't bother me. Don't call me, whatever. And that's the wrong attitude to have. I understand after a hard day work, that be a need for rest and all that. But you have to understand, we still need to maintain this attitude. Like, okay, Lord, I'm yours. Use me to your glory. And here's another aspect of this that I think is important was as God begins to use you and as he puts you into ministry, and when I say ministry, like with the quotes, I'm not talking about what people think of ministry, like becoming a pastor. A lot of people think that's ministry. Well, that is a type of ministry, but every believer is engaged in ministry, whether you know it or not, and whether you like it or not, okay? God uses you to minister to other people. And when God places you into ministry, when he says, okay, here's a hurting person, and I'm just going to cross paths, I'm going to cross your paths, you have to understand that that's the wrong time to just be totally giving God the cold shoulder, okay? That's the wrong time to be ignoring his leading, and that's the wrong time to just be, and here's my honest, straightforward words, to just be a selfish person, okay? It's very easy to forget that you were bought at a price. That's what the scripture says. Jesus paid the ultimate sacrifice, right? He went to the cross. He was tortured to death, and he shed his blood so that you and I can be forgiven, so that we can be children of God. We can we can experience eternal security, and we can experience, a new destiny and all of that stuff. If we ignore that, and if we just tune that out and tune out the fact of all of the grace of God, and then are always focusing in on our own selves, and I'm going to say this, I'm as guilty as anybody else, right? This is a problem that we have. Then we're going to miss those opportunities God puts in our path. And I want to tell you something. Those things that God does, where he crosses your path with another person that's in a certain situation or that's hurting, or those are some of the most wonderful and beautiful ministry things that happen in life, okay? And it is interesting, a lot of times God does that at that time when you're just not paying attention, okay? And so I do want to say this, we need to be mindful of that. We need to be mindful of, like, okay, wait a minute, at any minute, right, my life, it belongs to the Lord. I need to be offering myself to him. And those times when you are like in a completely different space, you need to make a conscious effort for those times to go to the Lord and say, okay, Lord, I'm yours. Don't let me get off track here. Use me, here I am. Send me, that sort of thing, like Isaiah did in Isaiah chapter 6. And listen, I have found that the more conscious I am doing that, the more God honors that attitude, okay? And also, I think the other thing is true, when I'm walking around just being totally selfish, I think in a lot of sense, that doesn't mean God can't use me, but I think I'm just oblivious to some of the things that God is doing in my life, or doing through my life, or has placed in front of me. I walk right by because I'm, just focused on myself. And, one of the most beautiful things about being a believer, other than having a relationship with God, is seeing God work in the lives of people around you and using you in ways that you didn't think were possible, or you didn't think would ever happen, okay? This is God's plan, and it's a beautiful plan. The way that he works is amazing, and it's beautiful. So I want to encourage you today. It's Monday, and I thought, this is the perfect thing to talk about on Monday. Getting into a habit of really offering ourselves to God, to be his hands and his feet, to be those people that are willing to serve the Lord whenever he calls us or asks us, or in the situation that he puts right in front of us, whenever that is, And I guarantee in that there's a huge blessing. And my secret desire is that the church would be more mobile, in the sense that we all as believers would be more active in reaching out to the lost, and more effective in sharing the gospel, and all of those things. Well, it starts with a very simple thing. It starts with preparing your heart to just let the Lord lead you through your day. So I hope that encourages you today. As usual, happy Monday again. I might as well say it. But if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that. If this video ministered to you, or if it's a good reminder and you're like, wow, okay, thank you, Dale. I like reading those comments. You're not just doing it for me, but I think it's awesome. And a lot of people do read the comments, and a lot of people get encouraged by the comments. So please leave a comment, and may God richly bless you today and this week. And that's it. God bless.